Hey there, this is Katherine Cartwright. Welcome. I am excited to share a new set from Stamps of Life. This is going to be available on hsn.com coming up on Craft Day. This is the Big Hello A2 card die set, and I'm going to make a card with this showing you how easy it is to use this set. I really like this one because it's a card base with a word cut into it. Really fun. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this off. I'm going to show you the details, and then I'm going to get busy making a card. All right, so I'm just trying to peel this off of my sheet. You can see this says hello, and then there are some layering pieces that go with it that I'm going to use, but I just want to show you that card die. And it's an A2, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. There also included some adhesive sheets and then these beautiful little felt flowers. I had to think of the word felt flowers. Yellow, purple, bright pink, and kind of a light pink that's almost on the edge of coral. So a really pretty color on that. All right, so I have run this through. It will take a full-size sheet of paper, so you'll have to have a larger die cutting machine to fit this die through. Okay, so it won't work in a little small, tiny tabletop. You've got to have a bigger one, like a Big Shot. That I think it has to be probably 6 inches at least to cut. But you can see it requires one that will fit a full sheet of paper, basically. Okay, and so I just want to make that known that you'll need a larger die cutting machine. And then there are this word die that has hello cut into it. So you can use this to layer onto your card base. You also could use these separately. I did do a card separately with just the word hello and some of the elements that are included, the little dies. And so I'll show you that at the end. Hang around to the end if you want to see some samples. I had a lot of fun using this set. All right, so I've got my adhesive on here. I'm going to peel this off. And then you can also see on the sheet that there's some floral dies. And then there also is a word die that says my friend. So you can make hello, my friend on your card with this card set. Okay, and then Stamps of Life also has some other items that are going to be available. I can't remember how many. I want to say it's 5 or 6 items, maybe more. So you definitely want to check out Craft Day. And if things are not available yet on the website when this video comes out, I always try and link everything in the description so you don't have to go looking too hard. But if they're not out, I will update it as things go on. Because when I record these videos, sometimes it's a little bit before, and I don't really know if things are out on the website or not. But I definitely will keep you updated. Okay, so I'm going to peel off this last one here, and the adhesive sheets make it really easy to add this to my card. So right there, I already have a really fun card, and I love the size of the font and that it is A2. That's really what I mostly make in my life and have been as a card maker. A2, although I'm not opposed to other sides. I really like the A1s that Stephanie's been coming out with in her card kits. And if you're interested in those, I've got a playlist on my channel as well that has all her card kits on there, so you can check that out. If you're a subscriber, or if not, you can check that out as well. So a lot going on over at Stamps of Life. A lot of options always to choose from. All right, so I've added a piece of white cardstock into my card, and then I have the layering piece, which is really nice. You don't have to measure or anything. You just run that through your machine with whatever paper you want, and then you're good to go. And I've got some more adhesive sheet here. I'm going to cut out this word die. And just remember to trim off where there is adhesive. Sometimes I leave it hanging and I don't, there's not adhesive. And then after I run it through on my cardstock, I realize that half of the sheet doesn't have any adhesive. So that doesn't do me much good. So I'm just making sure that I've got, my sheet is like a sticker, essentially full of adhesive. All right, so I'm going to run this through my marquee machine, which I love. This is from Diamond Press. Which is a great little die cutting machine that is sold at hsn.com only. And so if you're shopping Craft Day and you need a little machine, if this one's in stock, it's often not in stock just because it's very popular. And it is a little workhorse. I have a video I'll link in the description. I usually put it in most of my videos because I like to show off that machine. It's one of the main ones I use. Obviously, I use a bigger one. I use a Big Shot. I think it's a plus, not a plus, but it's a Big Shot. Maybe it's a plus, not the Pro. A bigger machine for my larger dies like this. So those are the two main machines I use. I get asked that a lot, like what my favorite machine is. And I really need to do a video again with both of the machines. But those are the main ones that I use. So anyway, if you're interested, be sure and check out HSN for the Marquee from Diamond Press. All right, so here is, I'm ready to attach or lay this My Friend onto the shadow, and then I will have a beautiful word die to finish off this card. Hello, my friend. So all of this is included in the kit, and then I'm just kind of pressing down, making sure that I have some good adhesion. When you run a piece of cardstock through with the adhesive on the back, you need to kind of press it down because it kind of bends the edges, so to speak, of the word die. And so you want to make sure that it is pressed down so it doesn't, pull up. Because once it's down, but you do need to make sure that the edges are touching. Okay, so there are some shadow dies included with these little stems, and I'm just going to run them through again. And I'm kind of making some decisions here on camera. I can't really decide. And then you're going to see a little switch. I'm going to work with some pink flowers initially, I think, in just a minute. And then you're going to see them turn yellow. And what happened is I went through and made my flowers and put, I think, pink flowers on there. And you may see a little bit of that or you may not. I can't remember at this point. But then I decided that they got too washed out. So I changed them to yellow. And so that's the magic of TV, right? Is that I can make some changes off screen. Usually I leave those things in so you can see them. But I think I may have cut that out because it took me a while to get those figured out. Okay, so yes, here I'm back. I've got my shadow that I'm ready to lay down my little stem onto. So quick and easy. And you could add a little, ink blending if you wanted to. These are pretty light colored, and the camera, I think, washes it out a bit. But you could always add a little ink blending around to darken up your cardstock. That's always a good trick. If you need a little bit darker cardstock and you're out, which happens sometimes with me, I will use, some distress ink or something like that, ink the edges, and instantly my cardstock's a little bit darker. So it's a good little kind of way to stretch your cardstock, especially if you're missing a color, which I often run out of my favorite colors, and then I have to kind of come up with a different idea. All right, so here's the pink, yes. So there's a cute little die included that cuts all these different flowers on here, and I'm going to end up turning them to yellow, but I just wanted to mention that if you see the pink and then suddenly things turn yellow, that's why. They just got to, it was too much pink and there was not enough contrast with that cute little heart background. But I wanted you to see this die. I'm assuming that's why I left this in, so you could see the little die cuts that you get. So you get a little strip and it cuts out all these different, and then there are two larger flower dies that I did not use in this video. Okay, so here is the yellow. So I changed it up and decided that the yellow I liked better and had a little bit more contrast. So I'm going to get out my little foam roll here and trim down some pieces to pop this up on the front of my card. I've just got to trim that down a little bit skinnier to fit that onto my card base. All right. And then I can add my flowers, and then I'm going to show you some samples I made. All right. So this is going to go right in the middle. Hello, my friend. And then you've got that nice space on the inside to write on, okay? And then I'm just trying to figure out where exactly I want to put my flowers. I'm kind of moving them around and having a hard time deciding which one should go where. And sometimes that's just the nature of it. So I've got 3 little clumps of flowers here to add on there. And then I'm going to make my final decision and adhere that down. And I did pop all of this up with some foam. Instead of gluing that flat on there, I wanted it to have that dimension. Okay, so there, now you can see the flowers really well. So I switched that up to yellow. All right, and then I am pulling out some of the little felt ones that are included that are so sweet. I love the little felt flowers, and I'm just trying to decide where I'm going to place them, and then I will add them onto my card. And I used a little bit of glue dots. There it is. I knew I'd use some glue dots, and that is the Hello A2 card die. And then I wanted just a little bit more. I had my shimmer pen out from Wink of Stella, and I just added a generous amount onto these flowers. I just wanted a little bit more shine on there. It's a little hard to see on camera, but hopefully you can see it in the picture. But here are some of the other ones that I created. The hello, flying by to say miss you. I used some of the pelicans on that. Here is the card I created. And then here it is. I've used it on a slimline and just layered it onto there. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to check out the description and be sure to check out Craft Day. Thanks so much and have a great day.